Hey, Damola, and follow me. My name is Sam, and I listen to the InsurTech Business Series all the way from Columbus, Ohio. Just wanted to say, great job, great work on opening people's minds up to the possibility of better insurance on the continent. And I hope more people tune in and educate themselves on what we could be doing better to manage risk on the continent. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. So excited and pumped that you were able to make it down to this new year. Also, the fact that it is starts for another amazing year for us. Coming from all of what had happened in 2020 and still living to see 2021. If for anything, I am grateful and, we are already off to a start of other events and new episodes for InsurTech Business Series. Happy New Year, Damola.
Yeah, Happy New Year, follow me. And Happy New Year to you listening. It's amazing. 2021 is here. 2020 seemed like a decade, right? And so long. And all of the things that happened in the year. But like you said, there are a lot of things to be grateful for. 2020 was really pivotal for us, starting off the whole conversation about insurance and insurtech around the African continent. Also excited about 2021 as well will bring us.
So 2021 for us is going to be an amazing year. We intend to have a wider reach this particular year, and there will be lots and lots of events that you should be expecting from us. I know that I stumbled recently on a post by a Kerete Ologam. He wrote, so underneath is Making Insurance Work campaign, that they would like to work with the InsurTech Business Series platform. And I think that, yes, this year there's going to be a lot of partnership as much as possible so that we can further continuously preach the InsurTech and insurance business gospel. It's important that insurance moves from what it was to something really better. So yes, I'm saying this now so that a lot of us can start anticipating and expecting, some of the beautiful and amazing events that would come through the year, and it won't take most of us by surprise. So we can better much prepare for the events that requires your active participation or contribution.
A lot of things that we've lined up, and we'll be sharing our calendar for activities for the year soon. And like you said, there are a lot of engagements and activities that are lined up. And it's all about collaboration and partnerships. That's the language I want to speak in 2021. And so, hey, we are happy to collaborate and join hands together with you and to expand the conversation and make the impact on the African continent that needs to be made. And we also should have at the back of our mind that there's a huge opportunity here, because with the free trade agreement for the African continent that is now in force from the 1st of January this year, 2021, it opens up the markets for the financial industry, because a lot of trade will be going on. So there are a lot of opportunities for insurance as well. So, I've not heard a lot about, how insurance comes to play in this whole free trade conversation. Yeah, but it's important that we begin to engage the industry and begin to see how we can plug into the opportunities that are there. I like the fact that insurance should be a part of all of these conversations and not be relegated as it has always been. So there are a lot of engagements, a lot of conversations that are going to go on this year. And it's super exciting that we are starting off, this year's podcast series with someone super amazing. You want to talk about her for me?
Okay, yes, she's an amazing person, and for those people that attended the conference, she spoke eloquently about insurance, and also part of the simplification of insurance and general insurance technology. And man, in the conversation with her, it was fire. Let me just put it that way. It was fire because she gave, practical examples, and I like the fact that she's very passionate about insurance. I know there are people that are passionate about insurance, but this type of person has an extra, I think that would be a safe word to say, like extra passion or fire burning for insurance. And it's important when we have, thought leaders like that, they find a way to try as much as possible to impact the industry. Even they say the trickle drops actually makes an ocean. And, having several trickle drops from passionate people like that eventually will make an impact, just like the butterfly effect. So for this particular person, she's a lady, and that's probably why I'm maybe most excited. That's possible that women also can move the insurance industry forward. I'm sorry, I'm beginning to brag, but I'm just excited that we've been opportune to meet this person, and we've been opportune to have her speak on our podcast. So I think it's Ope Osiyemi. I would love that we all hear from her, because she would better more explain how we all can contribute. And I think it's important right now, especially now that the industry needs to, upscale. We need to diversify. We need to divest. We need to generally just preach the insurance gospel. All right, so stay tuned. Could you tell us about yourself, Ope?
Right. So I'm Ope Osiyemi, and I negotiate better outcomes for insurance in Africa. I'm passionate about insurance. I grew up doing insurance as a subject in business studies in high school. It was somewhat, relatable, sense that coming from a background of commerce, merchant, family, and all of that. It was pretty very easy, as it were, to connect, how important what insurance does to commercial activities and all that. And that was really where the interest really grew up from. And I thought to myself, right, so if this topic is a course in the university, and if it is a professional course, this is what I would love to do. Plus technology, plus marketing. I mean, those were the things I kept, feeling right into, the yearbook, the slum book, that will pass around in school and everything. I just had, the combination of insurance plus technology plus marketing. I mean, at that time, it might seem as though, does this person really know what she's saying? But I really understood what I was saying. And I just follow through with my passion, with my interest, and thankful and grateful to my father of fantastic, wonderful memories, and to my mom. I had, supportive parents, and they just wanted us to be what we want to be, what we dream to be. So I said insurance. And they gave me the support for what it is. And it's been, I've been on that journey since, high school. And I never looked back. So I'm probably, one of the few, as it were, that didn't stumble on insurance. I didn't stumble on insurance. I didn't take it as leftover option, or let me take this while I wait for the oil and gas job, or whatever it is. I, with my eyes open, with my heart open, with intentionality, I feel that in, and I was all out. So it is either insurance or nothing else. So when I didn't get there first in university, my first jam and all of that, I was offered, other courses and all that. And I said to them, it is insurance or nothing else. And I was particular about where I wanted to study insurance, what school, if I was to do in Nigeria. So, I mean, it looked as though, man, this is such a strong-headed girl. You can do other courses. What exactly is it about the insurance? Not my parents anyways. Other people thought I was just being too extra. But of course, I knew what I wanted. And there was no one that was going to discourage me in any way. And yes, I had to wait another year. And after waiting another year, I gave it a try again. Wow. Same back-to-back, first choice, second choice. I knew I was going to get it. I knew what I wanted, and that was what I was going to do. And I got it at the end of the day. And yeah, I've been on that journey. And here we are today. And that's, here we are today, and we continue to be through generations, to just authentically impact lives.
How exactly were you able to pull through most of these challenges? I mean, after school, I'm sure a lot of people would have wondered that with the level of passion you've shown towards insurance, there must have been expectations. So how exactly were you able to maneuver and delve properly into the insurance business?
I personally ensure that, yes, it's good, for people to have expectation of one and all of that. Good, great, fantastic. But then I clarified the fact that your expectation of me is not necessarily what you would get. I mean, I can't guarantee you of that, but I can guarantee you of God's expectation of me and what I'm committed to get done in line and in alignment with my God-given purpose and passion. So that sort of brought to the barest minimum unnecessary pressure, because one, I wasn't in for it to show off. I wasn't in for it to prove any point. I was authentically in for it to impact life. And I knew that, there is gestation period to every purpose, to every vision. And I was ready to go through, subject myself to that process and go through my process without short-circuiting it. So it's been, a long journey. But I was, ready to go through that, because anything that's going to be sustainable, anything that's authentically going to last through generations would have to pass through the process. You have to pass your test, all of your tests. Yeah, there's a huge advantage of what clarity of purpose does for anyone. It really keeps you laser focused. You're really able to, very clearly distinguish between opportunity and distraction. So something might be an opportunity for real, but within your own context, it might be a distraction. And that you are able to know because you have clarity of what you want to do, where you're going. And one of the things that actually helped me as well was, remember I said, that I had my parents, support. My father was supportive of what I wanted to do. He will be the one, he will listen to, my big dreams and all of that. Sector, transform the sector across Africa and all of that. Literal as I was, as young as I was. And he will listen to me talk, and all of that. And he will continue to encourage me and give me the boost, right? So it was my father as well that did say to me while I was in uni, I was in year 1 or year 2 or thereabout, year 2. And he said to me, Ope, I want you to go intern in an insurance company for you to be able to match what you're learning in the classroom with what is going on in the industry. And that changed, that was so impactful. And that's one of the reasons I continue, I'm so, passionate about getting to create such opportunities for people coming behind, because there's just something it does for you. It opens you up to another level of of exposure, of clarity, inspiration, and all of that. And that one decision really was very instrumental. And I'm so thankful. I'm thankful for the company that opened up their door to me. It was Staco. I'm so grateful for that opportunity to intern right there. I'm thankful for Mr. Oyefeso. Yeah, I just want to say a big thank you because, that really worked.
Hey, this is Brian Falchuk from Boston, Massachusetts in the United States of America. I want to give a shout out to the InsurTech Business Series, Falumi and Damola. What you are doing to help move the industry forward in the African continent, but also more broadly for the industry at large, is so incredibly important. As I think about the future of our industry, it's conversations like the ones you're having that will help us move forward. So congratulations on the success of the show. Please keep at it.
Okay, that's actually a very interesting, really, to have that experience and exposure at that time, which honestly, I think it's one of the most important things while learning in school, to have a practical understanding of what it is that one could have been doing at that time. It kind of broadens your mind and opens up your perspective as to how to go about it, which again, would that be one of the reasons why you established or created Claimsify?
I'd always had that big picture of running a global insurance brand, right? That is niche focused. I wanted to focus on live marine aviation, and that's where, oil and gas, fall right on that and all of that. I was, I was specific about, floating and underwriting company, right? That is focused on those core risks that, people really don't really want to venture into, but is actually, leaking out fund out of the country, leaking out fund out of the continent. So that was, that was the plan, and it's still the plan anyways. Now for Claimsify, right? Claimsify was also born out of, it was an extension of flow, right? Of all of the expression of me for the insurance assignment. So we had a fire outbreak, right? That engulfed our home and consumed everything. I mean, everything literally burnt to ashes, right? We had nothing on. We lost everything except for the clothes that we had on when we went to work. So I saw it was, of course, I'd always been passionate about insurance, authentically passionate about insurance. I know the power of insurance and how it can actually transform lives, transform nations and all of that. But here I was, right? This fire came for me, right? It came to test my passion. It came to test my commitment to what I say that I believe in. And right there, I saw, firsthand, how vulnerable anyone can be when such thing happen. How it is important for underwriters to show up when it matters. And how you can, go opening up, sharing your business with people that typically you wouldn't even have, have had, such conversation with. It's such a vulnerable state, and there's a whole lot of things, emotions, your psychology, your emotion, everything, just flying left, right, and center and everything. And for me, it just shows, wow, you know what? This thing that I've always penned down about claim and all of that claims for years, this fire has come to try and test it. And I can see life, what's going on right now. And that just brought, that just brought afresh. What about the thousands of people that have faced one claim or the other? What they were going through. How some people even never recovered. And I said to myself, you know what, this particular idea that I've been sitting on this shelf for years, it's time to implement it. because the time is come. It's tested it, and we've got to, show up so that other people too get to feel what it's like to have insurance, and also for your insurance to show. So really, that was it was pretty much from personal experience, right? That brought out implementing that idea that I had on the shelf for years.
I know that I've been losing a whole lot of property you've acquired over time, papers, documents. It's more or less like I'm starting over. We moved to a new place. So to me, honestly, it just feels like,
exactly.
God.
So that's what people are feeling too.
Yes, yeah. So now to my next question, right? For InsurTech, really, would you advise that a lot of InsurTech companies disrupt or collaborate?
For me, I would say collaboration, because really, you see, there is no how you are so current and you are from the new that you will discard what the people that have gone ahead of you have done. To discount what they've done is not wisdom. And to think that, you can go alone is not wisdom either. Neither is it that, the people that have gone ahead, to think that they are, the only one that can make it happen. Now, wisdom says that the old and the new, right, come together to see where the loopholes, where we need to innovate, reinvent, tweak, and then together with an authentic sense of purpose, the bigger picture, come together in collaboration to make things happen. So really, it's not, it's not a war, and it shouldn't be a war. And people shouldn't come with that mindset as though you're going in for a war. Someone has to lose, for another person to gain. It doesn't make any sense to me personally. That's not my school of thought. My school of thought is that come together, collaborate. There is something in the old that the old can bring to the table. And there's absolutely awesome stuff that the new also can bring to the table. So let's collaborate to make it happen for the people who really are the recipient of this. It's really disruption. I'm using that word disruption now from how people are taking disruption to be, as though you need to come and dismantle what has been in existence. Let somebody lose for another to gain. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. So it's in that context of disruption that I'm saying, not disruption, but collaboration.
Oh, okay. Because majority of some of the documents that we've read over time or that I stumbled on, there's this whole discussion around how this insurance technology businesses would take over the existing traditional businesses. And, I would give an instance with Lemonade, for instance, in the US, how they've been able to, they've disrupted that particular space in terms of timeline that they used to pay claims, timeline that they used to underwrite generally. The operational models are equally different. So from what you said, yes, it's actually really more practicable than disruption for Nigeria, as much as disruption for other climes might be possible. You've actually said really right, in my own opinion. I wouldn't know about the listeners anyway. But yes, collaboration, as you said, is okay. So on that note, what do you think the current state of the capitalization process, how do you think it would affect most of these traditional businesses? And do you think it's also going to affect InsurTech as well in any way? I know it's for traditional, but do you think it's just going to be any impact in the general industry in Nigeria?
Oh, yeah. I mean, very clearly, the recapitalization process in itself, I think that well, we tend to sort of get the moment we hear recapitalization, as it were, everyone just zeroes in on the currency, the capital. Yes, the capital is, at the core of it, but much more than that, really. The whole idea of even, jacking up, the capital requirement is so that it's able to do what it's supposed to do in terms of more funds, right? To strategically invest in infrastructures that would help, move businesses forward and move the industry forward. Help, invest in talent, grow your talent and all of that, right? Scale up your business, your operation, your processes, right? Given that, with that, as at the background, it then means that recapitalization, really, if recapitalization is done from that holistic lens, right? Mm-hmm. It would impact everyone, hopefully in a very positive way. If we look at it with the right mindset and from the right perspective, as opposed thinking, to probably, X out who cannot meet capital requirement. I think that even beyond capital requirement, there should actually be, some parameters, right, that also, checkmate the fact that it's not just enough that you have the capital or that you can bring, investors together to jack up your capital. That in itself shouldn't be, the sole KPI. It should actually be used, right, as a vehicle as well to see that other core areas that we need to get sorted. People pay attention to it. Pay attention to authentically investing in people. Invest in your workforce. Invest in people. Invest in long-term, infrastructure that will continue to propel and enable the industry, enable the business to be sustainable in itself. I believe that we missed a very, very, very crucial, turning point. When NICOM initially said, when they were restructuring, they were trying to restructure the sector to say that you play in the niche where you believe that you have is your core strength and you have what it takes to play in there. That was a fantastic idea, initiative that if people truly were actually seeing the big picture, no one should have, tried to stop that. I thought, in my opinion, I thought that wasn't wise. Because again, why would you stop something that at the end of the day would help, would help the sector authentically grow? Why do you want to play? Why do you have to play in, all of the niche when your core forte, when your forte is in a particular area, it just makes it's wisdom, it makes economic sense, it makes all the old sense. Channel your resources where your core strength is. And for people to then think that, because, the tier-based one is, some people will not be able to play. Hey, everyone doesn't have to play in energy business. And even energy business isn't big enough as it were. It's not big enough compared to the lives that needs to be impacted. So if you don't have that muscle, just play. It was very clear. If someone had actually, gone for that tier one, the tier-based one, take for instance, if someone's forte was in motor, for instance, and you decide to say, I'm a motor insurance carrier, it's incredible the impact you would make and the number of market share you will rake in, and your position as the go-to for motor. It was such a very fantastic, clear way to have actually made headway. But for whatever random reason, I don't know, the people that objected to this, we really have to be very, very sincere with ourselves that do we really want this industry to move forward, or that it's just to serve, some personal interest of some people? Because if we really want it to move forward, the second move of NICOM won't also be stopped. I just read some 48 hours ago, thereabout, that the National Assembly asking them to step down on. Now, and what just went through my mind is, for crying out loud, even when the banking sector were recapitalized, because we know that these things were going to help the economy. I mean, yes, they said COVID and all of that, but really, if we're authentically, about the people, the well-being of the people, isn't it what needs to be done? What needs to be done got to be done. But then I would say that, just using this platform to appeal to NICOM, if we can, go back also to the tier base, I think that's a fantastic initiative, restructuring that could actually work and propel the industry to the next level. Let's play to our strengths.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think it sort of, also throws out opportunities to people that are thinking of coming into the industry with for instance, with the aim of selling one particular product at a time. It was really fantastic, but a lot of people complained back then, if I remember, about the timing and about the which now thinking about it sounds a bit ridiculous. About the fact
there's
that
never a better timing for anyone.
Yes,
there is no better timing for. You got to do what you got to do, because when you continue to shift the goalpost, you want to dot the T's and the I's. By the time you're done, dotting the T's and the I's, then you realize that, okay, right there, you've gotten there. But then the criteria is moved again. The standard is shifted already. Then you start again. It's like, moving around in circle. I think that we need stakeholders, all stakeholders really, we need to put aside our personal interest and look at the interest of an industry that has the endless possibility to authentically transform lives of people. I think when we continue to look at this thing from the big picture perspective, lives, purposes that have been shelved, people's dreams that have been cut short because of this thing, I think we'll begin to put, the interest of people first before bottom line. That's my personal opinion, and I own it 100%.
Hi, everybody. My name is Bente, and I'm the founder and CEO of MTech, and we are based in Kenya. I am very passionate about the disruption of the insurtech space, and together with our model MTech, we are actually serving insurance platform and also white label solutions for the industry. Please keep on listening to InsurTech Business Series podcast, and I hope to see all of you at the conference in December.
Thank you for that, honestly. So, okay, I know that now with this current development about the recapitalization, but what do you expect to see in the new year? It's still COVID, but there's the recapitalization coming in, which we don't even know if it's going to be a successful phase or not. And then, of course, we are hoping to see market penetration with the recent micro-insurance window for the industry.
Right. So for me, what I expect to see this year is I expect to see authentic sense of purpose across the sector, really, in making insurance impact lives in truly meaningful way. I expect to see visibility, more visibility, because now, in every crisis, right, there's a message. And if we're intentional and deliberate enough, right, to see in the crisis what the message is, it has the singular, capacity, right, to compel us to greater art. So if we're really getting the message, all of the message that all of the crisis is pointing us to, and we have, that sense of purpose enough to see that this message is becoming clearer of the position that we need to take and what we got to do and commit to, then, that visibility, we wouldn't have to spend so much, right, on doing PR. We will be able to invest those allocations of PR, image correction and all of that. We'll be able to channel it into other more strategic things that would, move the industry to even more, higher and to greater heights. So I would expect to see, visibility. And part of, visibility really is deliberately. Now we got to invest in our people. I continue to see this thing, and it's so scary, right? It's scary that the code, right? Well, they need to pass the baton. Now there is a baton pass, right? There's a transition happening. But hey, who do you pass baton to when we've not, really invested in the people we were to look back to give the baton to? You see, this crisis is actually, bringing out messages that we need to listen to, the pause we need to listen to and begin to act right. So part of the visibility as well is actually positioning our workforce right by deliberately investing in them for real. Let's invest in people, because if we don't invest in our workforce, it's a global competition now. Global, and aside that, complementary sectors and all that. So imagine if your industry, if the people that are the engine of an industry, an industry is as strong as its workforce and is as strong as the people holding forth right on there. So let's be more visible by investing genuinely and deliberately, investing in people, investing in process, investing in infrastructure. Let's put premium on what is important. The third will be that, stakeholders, let them commit, let all commit to actively, investing in technology, infrastructures, not just in silos or just, running after, what we think that, is the buzzword. Let's be authentic and deep about this thing and invest strategically to really, position and propel the industry for a long-term, visible impact in the life of the people and the economy. That's what I would say. And also that, of course, very clearly, business models are going to change. And it would go beyond, just mouthing it. It will have to be backed up with action that are in alignment with what it is that we're saying is going to change. The business model very clearly is going to change. Insurance is not going to be done the way it used to be done. So everyone needs to be open to all of these changes. People will begin to demand. I don't have to pay for instance, motor insurance for 1 year when, 75% of the time my motor is parked in the garage and I'm working remotely. So you see what I'm talking about. So here is a telematics is going to come on the fore. AI, cloud computing, cyber security. Yes. Pay attention to it in the context, of the industry, of our businesses and all of that, and much more as well in the context of what, the people will be demanding, and data analytics as well. So, that's what I would say. And a whole lot of collaboration. There is no island. You cannot afford to be an island, and you cannot afford to look too big or feel too big.
Honestly, I particularly like the fact that you highlighted everything. It makes it easy for whoever is listening to understand that these are to-dos, basically. Like if an organization hasn't even thought yet about the strategy, these are ways to go about it. But out of what you said, I had two questions, and one has to do with investment in people, right? So before I invest in someone, I need to have like a degree of, I don't want to say confidence, basically, that this person I'm investing in can do what my organization is set out to achieve. So what skills do you think, or what attitude would you encourage professionals to have in this coming year? Like, what are we looking to change? You've asked that we change organizational models, bring in technology. So what skills would you advise for people, professionals themselves to acquire?
So of course, it's no news that soft skills are so very key and important. Technical skills, good. But you see, I would rather write, and I want to believe, for the majority of the people, that it's easier, right, to actually bring someone up to speed on the technicalities of something, of a business or a trade, than it is, for the soft skill side of things. The things that keep things, make things happen. The soft skill side, people need to pay attention to it. You need to pay attention to value system, strength of character. And that ties into ethics, work ethics. Now, majority of the people will be working remotely and all of that. Now, it would take, strong, work ethics and character, right, to do what you sign up to do. I mean, no one is going to be right on your shoulders, HR chasing you about. They don't have to chase you about. You have to get it done. So work ethics is important. It's about, collaboration as well. As professionals, there is no solo, all of this, one superstar in the midst of, average people. And then the so-called superstar feeling fly, not actually, not being deliberate enough to empower people around them. That wouldn't work in this new season. It's about collaboration. You've got to be able to distill your ability to play, in a team, collaborate with other people to make things happen. You don't have to get things done by yourself all alone, just so that they know that you can do it. It's your ability to be able to collaborate. So your collaboration skills will be very key. Your ability to commit to continuous, learning. No one is going to chase after anyone. I mean, things are moving so fast and rapidly. So people got to commit to continuously learning.
Yes.
I mean, it's absurd that, people can stay 1 year without reading nothing. Beyond, just, focusing on how insurance works, there are other things that makes life work. So we're in life, not just insurance. Insurance is a subset of the life. Yeah, being able to, you've got to be resilient and creative. You've got to think on your feet, creatively take initiative and all of that. Yeah, adaptability as well, I would say. And digital media, right. There's no excuse to say, all of these things, I don't know how to use it. It's just for the millennials. It's for the, no, that wouldn't work in this new dispensation. We got to commit to what we got to do. So all of this adaptation, time management, collaboration, continuous, learning, and creativity. And I would add one more thing. Yeah, people say emotional intelligence, right? That's very key. Also, spiritual intelligence is very, very key in this dispensation. You got to be able to discern. As policies are flying left, right, and center, we must be able to decode and discern which one really is which. Which is which, and which one would actually propel us authentically, propel us forward for the long haul. Not propel us and then set us back another 2-3 decades backwards. And we're opening up an initiative, right, for professionals in the insurance industry across Africa between the age of 18 and 27, right, to mentor them. To mentor the next generation insurance talent, because there's a whole lot that makes up a competitive workforce. And we want to make that happen for the next generation. The baton is changing, and we must be sure that as we are handing over the baton to the next generation, that they are well equipped, right, to be able to deliver and even do much more, and be able to stand at par with their contemporaries in other sectors across the globe. And that, I'm committed to make that happen for the next generation of insurance, professional. Some people invested in us, and that's why we're here today. No man is an island, and I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful to God to such people. I'm grateful to God to late Mr. Lijadu. I'm grateful to God to Mr. Tola Defoigi. I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful to God to quite a number of people here in the sector that have at one point or the other been part of my own journey. And I know that quite a number of you might not probably have that chance, but then a way of also when you've been able to stand, right, you should look back to help other people to stand. So that opportunity to be able to mentor other people, through our platform, Gen Next Africa, we're helping, the next generation of insurance professionals from age 18 to 27 to prepare them and to get them moving for what is in, the 21st century and beyond, and position them to take the industry to the next level of sustainability. So if there is anyone out there within that age bracket that is interested, please just send us an email at gennext@opeosiyemi.com. So Gennext is GENEXT at opeosiyemi.com. Just shoot us an email and we would take it off from there.
Wow, fantastic thing you're doing, really. I'm super pumped that there's this platform for people in the insurance space to grow, to develop, and I hope to see more of this in the coming year, honestly, because this is really important. This is pressing. Times are changing, skills are changing, like you said, and I like the fact that you mentioned all of these things that are required, which brings me to my final question. You talked about remodeling for insurance, and I know that one of our issues in Nigeria has always been the fact that people don't trust insurance, and this stems from the fact that back then a lot of word of mouth got out that insurance people don't pay claims. So how do you think that we can revamp our claims management in the industry, or get people's buy-in and get a lot of customers to trust us again that of the truth, the insurance industry in Nigeria truly pay claims?
Well, right. So first off, I would say that first on the part of the players, right? We should always we should not promise what we cannot deliver, right? And on the part of we, the insuring public, we shouldn't ask for what would make people to fail and not deliver on their promises. So it's a two-way street. So when we continue to say that insurance doesn't pay claim, in as much as, to me, I don't think so. I think that this same lingo that continue to, move from one generation to the other, it just, it started at a point and people just begin to pass that same notion from year to year and all of that. But really, most often than not, they are not true. They're not necessarily true. And also, as insuring public, we also should be honest and truthful with ourselves as well. We should stop demanding. We need to put, that level of, we need to hold ourselves to, as insuring public, accountable to as well. We should stop demanding from the people that are helping us, carry our risk, right? What they can't, what will set them up for failure? So we set them up for failure when we continue to demand that they reduce their rates just so that they get the business. Momentarily, it will look as if it's working. But when the claim comes, because we were the people that set them up, they will not be able to deliver because they did that because they didn't want to lose the business. And we were the people that used the bait on the people that were supposed to help us to carry our risk. So I would say both parties, we got to be fair to one another. With that said, in terms of, claims, the management, we have to be intentional, we have to be deliberate, we have to be innovative about all that we do. When we continue to have at the core of what we do, the well-being of the people, the lives of the people, every action that we take would actually help, align to really want to meet their needs. And that's the whole idea. So let's be intentional, let's be creative, let's be innovative, right? And then let's leverage technology to translate all our intentionality, our creativity, and our innovation to make claims indeed, an experience indeed for the people. We are here to serve, and we are as powerful as the president of a nation. We are as powerful as a surgeon right there in the theater room. We're also, surgeon. Wow. We're surgeon right in the lives and the asset of the people. That work keeps them going. So when we continue to say that way, we'll be more deliberate to make things easy and better for them, make the experience better. So let's be intentional, let's be creative, let's be innovative, and let's leverage technology. Leverage technology, collaborate with others to make things happen for the people that will say that we have their best interest at heart. And I believe that when we continue to do business with conscience, business with purpose and intentionality, everyone will win. Bottom line will add up. Lives will transform. Nations will transform. And everyone will be better. That's the kind of, industry we want to see. That's the kind of life we want to see. And we all just want to embrace insurance without having to be forced to do it. And I know that in the coming years, people will begin to take insurance willingly without it being forced down their throats. So let's help them make that happen too as well.
Thank you so much, Ope. I'm sure that this conversation is what we require to, start the new year, because it's really important. And you've been able to address all of the pain points, all of the issues, and, most of the strategies. I've mentioned this before, and I'm saying it again, most of the strategies that we need to scale through the year 2021. And thank you so much for your time. We hope to have more conversations with you in the future and see how we can also be a part of, Gen X, because it's really important to see how to see that young professionals in the industry are also leveraging on all of these opportunities, building up skills, and we'll be happy to contribute and happy to help. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. And I just want to say that you guys keep the good work going. It gets only better. Thank you so much for being a valuable and impactful bunch of a team. I believe the best of you guys, and I know that it only gets better. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me, and have a fantastic year.
Hey, Damola and Follow-Me. My name is Sam, and I listen to the InsurTech Business Series all the way from Columbus, Ohio. Just wanted to say, great job, great work on opening people's minds up to the possibility of better insurance on the continent. And I hope more people tune in and educate themselves on what we could be doing better to manage risk on the continent. Thank you.
Hi, and welcome to the news update. My name is Ope Osiyemi. Senate passes bill to make health insurance mandatory for Nigerians. The chairman, Senate Committee on Health, Dr. Ibrahim Oloriegbe, says the Senate has passed a bill that will make health insurance mandatory for all Nigerians. Oloriegbe disclosed this at the inauguration of Group Individual and Family Social Health Insurance Program, GIFSHIP, held recently in Abuja. It is also worthy of note that the National Assembly has passed the National Health Insurance Authority Act. It will not be referred to as the National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIS again. It will now be National Health Insurance Authority, NHIA. A scheme in the NHIS will only mean a scheme. Insurance companies recorded an investment revenue growth of about 938 billion naira in 2020. Despite the challenging operating environment and the low investment rates in the country, insurance companies recorded growth in investment income of about 938 billion naira. The life segment made over 60% of the income, which were invested in lucrative investment instruments, while leaving the remaining 40% for the general insurance. The Nigerian House of Representatives mandates the suspension of industry recapitalization. The Nigerian House of Representatives has instructed the National Insurance Commission (NICOM) to suspend the initial phase of the recapitalization process expected to be met by insurance companies in Nigeria on or before the 31st of December 2020. The decision was unanimously made in a bid to cushion the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic as well as the economic downturn over the last few months. ELAN progresses to institute professional exams for new entrants. The Institution of Laws Adjusters of Nigeria, ELAN, has advanced efforts to institute professional examinations for new members into the profession. The institute is thereby collaborating with the Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria to bring an end to the lingering issue of disenfranchisement of student law adjusters from sitting for professional examination. Reginald Egbuniwe, president of ELAN, said at the yearly meeting of the association several inquiries about the recent development has been sent to the association in the bid to know the position of incoming and existing students of its former examinations. That's all on the news update. Welcome to the year 2021, and I wish you a great year ahead. Back to Damola and Fulumi.
Hi and welcome back. That was fire. That was fire. Thank you for sticking it up until now, and I really enjoyed that conversation. Stemming from the fact that our passion, even though it was from a young age, I think it was really ignited when she had that personal experience with the fire and things like that, and that really just pushed her to go on and make the kind of impact that she is making and even intends to even make in the coming future. It's super amazing how much she has been able to do and the kind of impact that is even still possible. And you were saying earlier, I mean, that women being able to make impact in the industry, and it's part of the reasons why we engage some of these conversations. And we want to go beyond the fact that, hey, we are just speaking to men, but speaking to everybody, women inclusive, who are doing amazing things. And there are a lot of women who are doing amazing things in the industry around the continent of Africa, and Ope Osiyemi is one of them. What stood out for you?
I like the fact that she mentioned the old tier-based thing. I know that it might seem like it's past tense, but I couldn't agree more with her. Looking at the fact that if the insurers had allowed that particular recapitalization process to scale through, a lot of people would have entered the industry with new ideas. If I'm able to sell a particular product that I am good at, I would relatively do more than a jack of all trade who has no specialty in anything. And so, like she mentioned, like if it's possible to have a comeback from that, it would actually it would be good for our industry now, especially for other people that are looking to penetrate our market. And why am I saying this? Is because a lot of insurtech companies that we currently have in Nigeria are mostly skewed towards the health, towards HMO. And that's because they can easily unbundle certain products and focus on that particular product type. So imagine if we have those tiers in insurance, and for insurance technology that want to focus on just motor insurance, for instance, they would be able to unbundle the entire motor insurance packages and focus on whichever one it is that they want to focus on. So it could be third party, it could be the comprehensive. They could even, make the product so flexible that a customer can decide to pick whatever product benefits that they want. So yes, for me that was one of the many things that she said that I held on to. Also, for I won't even lie, the recapitalization news about the suspension of the recapitalization news.
Yeah, I was going to even mention that as well, because it's really
I'm wondering,
just in circles.
Yes, because the last time we tried to carry out a tier base, it just seemed like it was a no-go area because, insurers actually took NICOM to courts and of course the mandate was withdrawn. And then again, it's like we're going back to status quo. Like, and I'm here asking, what exactly do we want? Do we want to move forward? Or do we just want to keep dancing around in circles like you mentioned? So,
It's funny that you mentioned that because, I wanted to ask you, you're more active in the industry. And just to pick your mind on what you are seeing from your own point of view and how the industry is going really. I am in a fora where there are a couple of C-suite executives from insurance companies, and so when the news about the recapitalization being called off or pended by the court and things like that, was shared there, and one of the managing directors of one of the insurance companies, mentioned the fact that the recapitalization probably was not a good idea, that people are already actually even struggling at the moment to even get their investors and stakeholders return on their investment, with the capital that they have now. And they're now saying they should increase it to, 18 billion, for composite, and 8 billion for life, 10 billion for general. So what do you think about that? Because I saw that and I said, okay, yeah, you have a point, right? But at the end of the day, even at what you're doing, you are not able to still get a good share of the market, right? You are still struggling with 1%, and it's not like you are doing anything new in order to change what the status quo. If you are saying that you want to remain the way it is, but then you're not doing a different thing, right, in order to get a better result in terms of returns on investment, or then you are still going to be in the same position. What's your take on all of that? Because what we have seen before now is insurers depending majorly on investment income, but the underwriting income is not really as important.
Now that you asked like two questions, I'll just answer this first one. So, of course, we will not generate underwriting income because the market penetration is relatively low. Most times when people even obtain businesses, is usually for, corporate businesses, is usually to protect their bottom line. And these are businesses that are probably recycled and passed on from hand to hand. So I probably give Damola and Sons this business today. And then when I feel like Damola and Sons probably didn't give me what I want or the kind of service I want, I move on to Victoria and Family. I don't know if you understand my point. So at the end of the day, it's just we're not going out to create something entirely new. Now coming back to recapitalization now, I think a lot of insurers need to start asking themselves, what's the rationale behind the recapitalization? What is NICOM out? What are they setting out to achieve? Now, I can remember when, a lot of banks had to go through that recapitalization phase. And then it seemed like a lot of brands were going under. We were forced to, merge with other banks and all of that. Today, you have formidable banks. As a matter of fact, they have the large financial shares in the country in terms of contribution to GDP in the financial industry. Then you can come back and tell me that you are okay with staying in the 0.3% penetration. And then we come back and say recapitalization is the way to go in order for a lot of companies to increase their solvency margin. They are able to absorb a lot of businesses, collect a lot of... I'm going to give one instance with oil and gas, for instance. What is being insured in Nigeria with oil and gas is obviously reinsured. Insurers only absorb just a fraction of it. Like, okay, this money will do my business good. By the time I put this on my books, it will make it look as if
it's good for my portfolio.
Yes. So we can't keep doing it's good for my. If we're able to increase the capital, it's as good as we'll be able to absorb more risk. We'll be able to think outside the box. Special risks, for instance, I'm not talking about oil and gas now. I'm talking about special risks, like in terms of over there, they do a lot of pardon my French, but they do a lot of crazy ass special risk. Like for instance, now, people that do liposuction, plastic surgery, and all of that, they are insured for it because they have the capacity to,
insuring your leg, your face, your voice.
Now, imagine there was COVID-19 and all insurance companies could do was to write it as an exclusion. So those are the kind of things that we're looking at. So if we keep saying there's recapitalization, we cannot go through the recapitalization because eventually it defeats the purpose of. People start asking the question: Are we ready to grow? Or we just want to dilly-dally about this thing? Why don't we have or find another solution as to whether to go back to tier-based and see how we can play within that space, or better still prefer another solution to NICOM? We can't sit down on the same fence and expect that we will be able to move forward or backward. We're stagnant, basically. Yeah. We're stagnant. So in my opinion, I think that the recapitalization is the way to go, whether or not we like it. Some companies are already merging. So what would you do about and then going to court now to say that we want that process to be stopped in the first place?
There are some companies who have already gone on to meet up the 18 billion. I mean, if you don't have it, why not go and find someone to collaborate with? I mean, merge, and get this thing done. At the end of the day, you're able to still do the insurance business that is about creating value for the common Nigerian and helping to build that trust for the industry. I mean, but before we leave this point, I mean, I think it is important again, looking at it from their point of view, because their argument now is saying that there was COVID, the looting and things like that. And recently NIA released some numbers as regards claims to be paid, about excess of 7 billion. And it still didn't count. A lot more are still going to be assessed in the coming days and months, maybe even years. Do you think it's valid?
I think it's a form of lack of preparation. Recapitalization has been ongoing before the pandemic. It's been ongoing before NSAS protests. As a matter of fact, the deadlines have been postponed back to back. Now, companies that I feel were forward thinking had moved ahead to say, you know what, I'm not going to be caught off guard. I'm going to prepare ahead before the deadline for recapitalization. Me, I just think that this is just some, yes, I understand that. I mean, there have been some events in 2020 which would have in a way crippled business. But then again, this thing it didn't just drop from anywhere in recent times. And so by now, I have expected that organizations would have actually met the initial phase of recapitalization, which is to increase that fund to at least, I know for life, to about 5 billion.
50%.
Yes, 50% generally. Thank you. So by now it have happened. Even if the it was going to be complete as at the time of the deadline because of the pandemic. So I don't expect that we would by now be asking to suspend the 50% of the initial phase of the recapitalization process. It still doesn't make any sense to me.
Wow, this is a conversation. I'm sure we can go on and on. It's really, but yeah, we'll definitely still be engaging a lot of stakeholders as regards all of this and seeing how we can take advantage of even all of the opportunities that all of these things still offer, right? Like we mentioned, some insurance companies have already even gone on to improve their capital base and things like that. Some have already merged. Some companies have merged. I'm sure some announcements will be coming, in the following weeks and months, right? And so there are a lot of opportunities. And NICOM releasing the micro insurance window, which is very huge. that portrays an opportunity for a lot of partnership collaboration between insurance companies, ecosystems, insurtechs coming into the space, e-commerce companies, and things like that. And so it's an exciting time, and we're all for this. We're all for this.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. Yeah. Thank you so much for always listening. And like I said, we'll try as much as possible to share our calendar for the year, so you can know how to be available. We also hope to hear your feedback, especially on the recapitalization. If you're an insurance expert, it will be very important to hear your views. There's a little that we can say, and you might know better. If we are thinking from a different angle, you can see you can help us see from a wider perspective. So we would really like your feedback, and you could type in your feedback on our page. That's on our LinkedIn page, just in the comment box. We would like to read and respond to your comment. So thank you once again for being our ardent listeners, and we hope that you enjoy the rest of your week.
Yeah. Wish you a splendid 2021 ahead. And this is the first one of 2021, first episode of 2021. A lot more conversations will definitely be coming up, and we're super excited about them. And thank you very much. We still remain focused on encouraging learning, fostering innovation, and bringing us together, networking, so that we can grow each other, and develop this space. So, thank you very much.
Bye.
Stay safe.